Premier Support Center. Anywhere anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to hit that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Support Center. Anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to hit that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Support Center. Anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to hit that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Support Center. Anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to hit that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Support Center. Anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to hit that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Support Center. Anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to hit that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Support Center. Anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to hit that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Support Center. Anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to hit that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Support Center. Anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to hit that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Sports Center. I need it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Sports Center. I need it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button. Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Premier Sport Fan Center. This is our Friday Talk Sports show and a review of what actually transpired during the week. I will be here to digest and to analyze most of those happenings during the week, and it promises to be exciting. Just hope you stay tuned with us. And I'm not alone in the studio. We have a complete house today to talk about all the happenings in the world of sports. Yeah, from my immediate in the middle here, I have a Polo. Polo, how do you do today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
All right, and Yamite is in the studio. How do you do today, Yamite?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
All right, Shege, you're welcome to the studio.
Oh, it's a pleasure being in the studio, sir.
All right, let's quickly dive to the issue, and that is a burning issue, the issue that is trending right now, transfer. Everywhere is about the business of transfer in the world of soccer. You know, the way it's going right now, let's quickly start with Chelsea and know what Chelsea is actually doing in the world of transfer. You know, we've not really actually had much of Chelsea. Chelsea just 3 players in and 3 players out. Yeah.
This is January?
Yeah, just there's some both recalled players. Okay. You know, yeah, we have Aaron Anselmino from Boca Junior who has been recalled from loan. That's for Chelsea. Then we also have Gabriel Slonina from Barnsley recalled from loan. Then we have Trevor Chalobah recalled from loan from Crystal Palace.
Chalobah, I think Trevor Chalobah has to be the biggest name on the Chelsea list right now. They recalled him from that low deal to what's it called, Crystal Palace. At a point, he was detailed to be surplus to requirements at Chelsea, but they saw the need to return him to Chelsea after that long-term injury to Wesley Fofana, which should be out for like about 3 months. And also, you know, the bad form of what's it called, Aisel Disasi and Tosin Adarabioyo. This had to make Chelsea recall what's it called, Trevor Chalobah and also Anselmino from his loan deal from Boca Junior. But I still feel like Chelsea will still be going to the market to get an experienced young centre back in this January window, or probably come end of the season. But looking at the Trevor Chalobah's situation, I think it's a bit dramatic, because right now, from what is coming out from the Chelsea side of from the rumors coming out from the Chelsea side of view, is that they're still looking to move him on at the end of the season. That's probably sell Trevor Chalobah come end of the season. But for now, I think he's a quality, experienced short-term fix for Chelsea. I feel like he'll be doing quite better than what we saw from the young Josh Archimpong, which shows that yes, it's not yet time to actually, you know, give lot of attention to these young players. So I think Trevor will actually do good, you know, pairing alongside Colwill. And I think another defender, another position where Chelsea actually needs to bring someone in has to be that left centre back position where Colwill is playing, because right now he's the only senior left centre back Chelsea has that is consistently available for Chelsea. Badashil is out injured, and even when Badashil is available, he's not that consistent for Chelsea. So we're still in the market. Chelsea are still in the market. Yes, there's still a lot of talks on the different type of players. This just today we saw the rumor of Alejandro Garnacho. I think when Chelsea saw the amount of Manchester United are asking for from Napoli, that's around £60 million. So they will likely feel like yes, it's a price that they should be able to, cough out for Alejandro Garnacho. But for me as a Chelsea fan, I'm not a big fan of Garnacho coming to Chelsea. If Chelsea is a winger, it has to be a goal-scoring winger. That is what they need. So they have to go into the market, spend that money and get some quality wingers and a backup striker. Yes, there's a need for striker for Chelsea. They've been linked with a lot of names, the likes of Leon Delap, Osimhen, and what's it called, Sesko, has all been linked with Chelsea. So probably before the end of this January transfer window, they might be bringing in a striker to the club.
All right. Yamai, do you think recalling these players, Gabriel Stonina and Aaron Anselmino, they are not that known players, but do you think Maresca have something? That's why he's recalling them.
First, I don't think it's Maresca's decision to recall Trevor Chalobah, but when you look at it, the first option was Maguire, and it will cost Chelsea around 60 million. And when you look at the FFP and balancing your books, it's not really advisable for Chelsea to spend as high as 60 million when you can recall somebody for free, or almost free at that. So I think it's just a sporting decision, more or less business like decision. Save a little and get somebody that can do the job. Then secondly, Slonina is a goalkeeper, and I think that if there's something, there should be more competition in the goalkeeping role, because we can't really say Sanchez is that goalkeeper that will take Chelsea to the promised land. We see so many errors, even against Bournemouth. He's not that confident with playing with his foot. He makes so many silly errors, wrong passes. You see players on your teammate and you still give them the ball. You don't distribute like that. So I think that Chelsea will need an upgrade. Maybe Slonina can compete and fight for a shirt at the end of the day. But I think for now, the main target, I think they should be in the market for. They've not really done anything solid about it. It has to be a goal puncher. The last 5 games, Chelsea has created a lot of chances. What has affected Chelsea is the conversion rate. Look at a lot of good chances that Jackson has lost. And how many times will Kopama have to get into the final position and get the goals? How many? He's a midfielder, so if he's scoring average of 1 goal or 1 assist per game, he has done his job. But where is the striker that should put the ball in the back of the net? Jackson, maybe he's doing some breakdance in front of goal, we don't know. But I still think that Chelsea needs to improve. A striker, not just an academy profile, an established number 9.
All right, and so let's look at those 3 players who are going out. Alex Matos, this is an unknown name. Oxford United for a loan. Yeah, we have Kai Campton. He's going for Bournemouth for undisclosed amount. And Zen Sidcourt, Dewberry, Bournemouth also undisclosed amount. Those are the players going out. I think that is all Chelsea have been able to do.
Well, we're still in the early days of the transfer window, so a lot of experienced names are still being rumored down to wanting to leave Chelsea. We saw Christopher Nkunku being linked with Bayern Munich. Earlier today, we saw João Felix also being linked with AC Milan. So just Burial is there, and Chelsea are also wanting to move on from Ben Chilwell, who hasn't really played under Maresca. So there's every tendency that Ben Chilwell will be leaving Chelsea come before the end of this transfer window. Same thing applies to Kani Chukwuemeka. He will also be leaving Chelsea before the end of the transfer window. So there's still a lot of business to be done by Chelsea this January. I think they're still taking their time, not in a rush to rush into the market and rush out, because January transfer market is a market that you can't really rush in, because you can easily buy some kind of players who don't even fit into the profile of your team. So they have to be very much careful. Like the centre back position right now, I don't even think Chelsea will be going to the market to get a centre back right now. They will rather want that fix with Chalobah and Asamino playing pending the time Wesley Fofana comes back from his injury. I think he should be back around March or April. Pending time he comes back, and probably they'll play it that way till the end of the season before getting an experienced centre back. So to me, I think the striker and more of a right winger is what left winger is what Chelsea actually needs right now. The right wing seems a bit fixed, because they have they have Madueke and Pedro Neto playing on that wing, but on the left right now is just Sancho with the potential ban and suspension for Miyako Modric. So it's just Sancho alone on that wing. So there's a need to get a player on that left side of the attack for Chelsea. And the striker, there's also a need to get a striker. They've tried Nkunku to play him as 9, but it hasn't really worked at Chelsea. So I don't really see Nkunku as a figure, as a 9 profile. Magui is also very young to start in the EPL. The way they play in the Conference League, and start pad a lot of goals is way different from when they get into the EPL. It doesn't work that way for them.
And I think that Sancho will. Nkunku can do a good job there. Nkunku stay as a playmaker, which is better. Even the manager mentioned it. Then Joao Felix move to that role. He can still deputize, but there's nobody.
The problem with them moving to that wing, to the left wing, is that Chelsea is not playing 4-3-3 formation. Whoever is playing on that wing has to join the defense. Has to pair alongside Kukureya in trying to defend. Joao Felix is not one of those players you can really depend on when it comes to defensively. Nkunku doesn't have that energy to also run front and back. Even when he's playing as a 10, players on attacking midfield are gone. Within 20 to 30 minutes, you are seeing already gassed out, talk less of him now playing on the wing. The best way you can bring them in to play on that wing is maybe probably around 50 minutes, 60 minutes is making those substitutions. But you have a pragmatic manager.
But they can always improve. That's match fitness.
Well, to me, I think it's always going to be a problem. It's better not to even try it than starting them.
All right, Paulo, do you think Chelsea is doing enough in the transfer market?
Well, like you said, we still have about 2 weeks to go to the end of the transfer window.
Today 17. And it ends on the 3rd.
It's on the 3rd.
Yeah,
we still have
on 3rd of February.
about 2 weeks. Like you said earlier, those players that were recorded, I think apart from Chalobah, those players are recorded. I believe Chelsea will still send them to loan.
Yeah, exactly. Slovenia staying as Chelsea. You'd rather go on. If Chelsea wants to recall a goalkeeper, probably they'll recall Petrovic or have Pendas back from Genk. One of those two. Slovenia will go out on loan again.
Yeah. So and there's still other rumors also, linking most of some of Chelsea players to other clubs like Renato Vega. And there's also rumor of Chelsea trying to bring in this guy from Bayern Munich now. Is it Tel? There's also a rumor that it could be a swap deal between Chelsea and Bayern Munich, the guy for Nkunku. So there's still a lot of story, and for Chelsea, I think they have a lot of players in at the beginning of the season, and they want to cut down, at least, so they'll be able to focus on the, if you're having 18 player, you're having 18 player instead of you having almost 25 player, and at the end of the day, most of them are not always fit, they are not available. So, and they talk about some players that are not happy, because they are not having playing time, like Ben Chua. I think this is the right time for Chelsea to allow him go.
No. All right, so let's quickly just look at some of these other teams. Maybe we'll just talk 1 or 2 about them. We'll talk about we've talked about Chelsea. We'll look at the Crystal Palace. Yeah, what they have done in the transfer this January. Yeah, where we have Malcolm Ebuewe. Yeah, he has been loan recall. Chris France loan out. Jeremy Onodo. Loan out, pardon that pronunciation. Osha also loan out, and Trevor Chalobah also loan recall from Chelsea. That is what Crystal Palace have actually done. Then we talk about Brighton. You can talk about any of this one. Talk about any of it. Ashley Hay, that is Brentford. Sorry, Ashley Hay loan out. Ellery Rakambe loan recall. Then Val Aden Kane also loan out. So that is what has happened in Crystal Palace and Brentford. Yeah. So not much yet. Still, petty loan deal.
Yeah, I think the transfer window is not getting interesting. It's still the same thing everywhere. It's just unknown players moving from one to.
I don't think it's not interesting.
No, I think it's just how transfer usually is. Towards the last 7 days, then you will start seeing the activity.
That's when it gets serious.
And Man City has done good business. They're making already.
Yeah.
Omar Mamouche.
Kusanov also another fantastic centre back.
I think the
player from Brazil. Yeah, the player from Brazil.
From Palmeiras.
Claudio.
Victor Reis.
Yeah.
The defender. So I think Man City has been one team that has done a lot of good job.
They have
Transfer
Claudio Echeverri, then Issa Kabure. Issa Kabure loan out from Manchester City. Then Claudio Echeverri transfer in. There are other ones they just completed, but we will just have to wait. But Victor Reyes is almost complete. He's going for his medical today.
Even Omar Mamouche is out of the Eintracht Frankfurt squad today against Dortmund due to that move too. So I think it's also Lens too. I think it's almost confirming the Uzbekistan player too. So I think so far Man City has been really active.
And also,
what they faced has really affected them.
Yeah, and also talking about Manchester City, today we saw Erling Haaland signed a 9.5 years deal with Manchester City. I think a lot of people do confuse that long-term signing for slave signing. I think Chelsea started it with a lot of players signing 7-8 years deal. But I think looking at it, the way Chelsea have handled it this season, with those players who want to leave, the likes of Renato Vega, there's always a release clause in these deals for these players. There's always a reasonable release clause, and there's always a lot of add-ons, added to it. Well, it's a good deal for Erling Haaland, £500,000 weekly on the base salary minus add-ons and every other things, which might take him close to around £600,000 weekly. Is actually a good motivator for him. I think they're actually paying back for the good works he has done with Manchester City. We saw him last season, we saw him 2 seasons ago with Manchester City. Good one for him. Also, Cristiano Ronaldo, there's a deal on the table for him at Al Nassr that might just take him to be the highest paid player in the world. At the age of 40, and you're getting this kind of deals is actually a good one for the legendary Cristiano Ronaldo.
All right, tell me, Paulo, what is happening in Arsenal?
Yeah, for Arsenal, like we talked about Manchester City now, I think Arsenal is one of those teams again that needs to, get into the transfer window market rather, and get a lot of players, because we've seen Arsenal with the recent days now with injuries from the defense to the attacking option. But so far, when it comes to transfer with Arsenal, there's always this. I don't know, maybe I'll call it secrecy. They want to do transfer. In fact, they tend to hide it from the press. Suddenly, you just see them, announcing a player you've not heard of before. But so far, what we've been hearing is that they are trying to complete a deal for the Real Sociedad midfielder Zubimendi. Though it will not be happening this January, but rather this summer. But for talking about Arsenal again, the striking position has been an issue now, and there are a lot of players linked to Arsenal. A lot of strikers. We've heard, that Arsenal are in talks with RB Leipzig to get what's his name again, Benjamin Sesko, probably on loan. Including,
but they're not interested in taking him out on loan. They say it has to be an outright buy if he has to leave.
Yeah, but Arsenal is trying to work out a loan, but I don't think that.
Why? Okay, that takes me back to that conversation we were having the other day. Why are you guys not interested in a loan deal for Sesko, not outright pay?
No, the issue is that you got to find. This is January transfer window. Okay. You can't just bring it, because I want to believe if Gabriel Jesus is not injured, the Arsenal I know, they won't bring in any striker this January. Okay. They will rather wait to summer before they bring in a striker. But there's possibility of them even buying at least the other day we were talking. I was saying they should just get us any striker, even though it's 10 million. I don't care the amount. Get us any striker, because I
10 million.
I don't mind now. Even though I don't mind. Even though it's 10 million pounds, get us a striker. The striker that will get us a goal. It will be better. I mean, if we don't have any striker now, I don't think we'll be able to sustain the position we are in the league now. And also Vlahovic being linked.
But if you're getting the 10 million striker,
you guys want to sustain your position, or you want to go for the title? Which one?
First of all, you have to be able to, if you can't hold on to where you are now, there's no way you are going to be able to push forward.
Which one are you doing? You want to
we want to push forward, but at the same time, you have
let us know where to send
push forward. We want to push forward.
We want,
right? Yeah, of course.
All right.
And
but if you look at it, if you want to buy 10 million as top striker,
don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to say is that what I'm trying to say is that They should just get us somebody. I don't care. Even though it's free transfer, you get that person. Because at the moment now, you are in short of bodies. So even though it's free transfer, you get that person. I don't care. Bring in somebody, because I want to believe that striker will not be as bad as his finish will not be as bad as what's his name, Kai Havertz finishing. So that's what I mean by getting us any other striker. So you need to get us somebody.
It all boils down to PSR and FFP for most of the clubs right now, because you have to balance your book. You can't just go into the market and start spending lavishly. It will all bounce back on you, just like exactly what we're having with Barcelona in the La Liga. So right now, most of the big clubs in the EPL, if you are not Manchester City, who has a very good positive PSR and FFP, because you look at the number of titles they've won and the Champions League they've won over time, so they have a positive side, so they can always go to the market for, I think, for the next 5 years without selling for profit in their club. But for clubs like Arsenal, Manchester United, even Chelsea right now, you have to make profitable sales before you can go into the market and spend lavishly. So that is the problem right now. If Arsenal is going to sell a player, who is that player in Arsenal right now that can, double good values for Arsenal, give them a zero interest rate when they are signing another player? You look at the Arsenal squad right now. They have
Odegaard,
Saka. Those are the only profitable players for Christ.
Declan
Rice. Are they even Declan Rice can't go for 200 million pounds. He can't go for that 200 million pounds.
Saliba.
The likes of players, the players that are trying to push out right, as mentioned now, is not up to one value. It's not up to a value for a quality striker. So that is where the problem is right now.
I think Bayern Munich is in the market for Nkunku.
Yeah, you can see what Chelsea is trying to do. They're trying to sell Nkunku for 70 million pounds. It might not work. 70 million euros, sorry. It might not work for Chelsea, because the only way Bayern Munich will pay 70 million euros for Nkunku is if Tel is ready to go back to Chelsea. So they'll find a way to balance that two deals to happen. But Bayern Munich are not ready to pay that 70 million outrightly for Christopher Nkunku. And I don't have a problem with that, because when you look at Bayern Munich, that team the attack of that team is well garnished enough. Even Nkunku might find it hard to start in the Bayern Munich starting 11.
But I think they need Nkunku.
They might need him, but Musiala is also in that team. There's Musiala in that team.
Musiala cannot play every game. He has shown that he's prone to injury. He's going out, coming in. Coming in.
But that means Nkunku will still be having the same issues having Chelsea
at Bayern.
Sitting there at the bench.
All right, guys.
But he can win the Champions League in Bayern this season.
Right, so
Arsenal can come for.
Is it not?
Arsenal.
No,
we don't sell quality players.
If it's quality, why do you want to offload it?
okay,
You're not offloading.
I think we are done with
So Hazard wasn't quality. Wasn't a quality. You see, the biggest mistake you made tonight is sitting in between me and Yemi. Because are you telling me Hazard wasn't a quality player when Chelsea sold him to you guys?
But you guys pushed him away.
We didn't push him away. You guys
don't want him.
No.
The thing is,
Chelsea fans don't want
it's okay
him.
for Arsenal to get fairly used from.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Thank you. I think it's enough of the transfer.
No, we are not
with the transfer. We'll come back to that banter later.
We are not bantering. We're only saying that they used to get Nigerian youth.
Thank you. Let's leave and transfer. Let's go to the next our topic here, which is creating a lot of debate. Since then, that was 3 weeks ago during the Global Soccer Award. Cristiano Ronaldo made a statement and he said the League One is not up to the Saudi League. That the Saudi League is better than the League One. And recently, we just had Ibrahimovic also responded to Ronaldo, saying that Ronaldo is not correct. But I want to hear our individual take on this. How true is it? Yeah.
A lot of statements are always, put to Ibrahimovic, and we have to always verify to be sure that Ibrahimovic says some of those statements. One of the verifiable ones is the one from Cristiano Ronaldo. I think yes, it has to be. You have to market the league where you are currently playing. That is what is really happening with the Saudi Arabia league. But a lot of quality players in the league. You might look at the caliber of players in the league and look at them and say, oh, it's a far better players, than the players present in the League One. But European club is always a European club. You can't really compare them with the Saudi Arabia league. Even the Saudi Arabia league, Al Hilal has been the one, kind of dominating the league for over 5 years right now. So that is where we have the queries of players. Even the Al Hilal, if they should come over to play in the Club World Cup, they'll get lost amongst the big
Let them
boys.
confess.
So I think talking about League One, I will always rate League One ahead of the Saudi Arabia League. So I think Ronaldo was just actually trying to promote the Saudi Arabia League in that statement. And also, I think it was Neymar who responded and said yes,
He's
that
correct.
Cristiano was actually correct. But these are players playing the league; they have to do those for the PR and marketing.
But when we look at it holistically, well, when we take it, because he specifically mentioned that they only have PSG. Now the context Cristiano Ronaldo is coming from is the quality of the
competition.
players in the league. First, then competition, quality of the players in the league. That's why he had to absorb and take out PSG. And when you look at that league very well, if you take out PSG, I don't think that even as the gaffer, maybe you can mention 3 players in Lyon, or maybe Shegun can mention 5 players in Marseille, or maybe Paul can mention 3 players in Monaco, because of the depreciation in quality. And I think this comes from the league struggling to get that financial backing it needs to support these clubs. So the clubs don't have that big financial pool to draw from and get quality players. So I think that to some extent Ronaldo is right. Realistically, the quality of players is obvious. That yes, for now, Saudi, but what Saudi is doing now, I doubt if it is sustainable. That's another aspect, because they can do
We
this.
saw it happen with China also.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I doubt if it's
if they're not getting that big money from broadcasting, it's really going to affect them. If they're not getting the big money from marketing, it's going to affect
that's why I
them.
said for
So,
now.
like League One, like Yemi was saying, I think the biggest problem for League One has to also be in broadcasting.
Yeah.
Most of the big medias are mostly centered on the EPL, the La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, even before you come down to to the French League One. So that is what the problem is. If your league is not on this TV, it's going to cause a lot of problems. It's going to be like the players are not really recognized by certain clubs. Well, for someone like me, I prefer Chelsea buying a player from Ligue 1 rather than buying a striker from Bundesliga, because over the time the players just have got it from Ligue 1 have proven to be way better than what we've got it from the likes of Bundesliga. Not the Sassy, not the Sassy, but there's always Eden Hazard. There's always type of Eden Hazard. There's the Drogba. There's Michael Essien. There's Peter Cech that came all the way from the Ligue 1.
But that was then.
And that was then. It's not like it's all over.
You're as good as your last game as
The
last player Chelsea got from Ligue 1.
Let me hear Polo's own your own side of his story.
I think I don't want to believe what Cristiano Ronaldo actually said. To me, League One is far better than the Saudi Arabia League, because if Cristiano Ronaldo is saying take away PSG from League One, then you have nothing left. Then I want to, after Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, I don't think I can mention any other clubs.
There's Al Nassr.
Then when you talk about Al Ahly, Al
Nassr, there are guys.
You can't use those kind of teams to compare Olympic Marseille.
But we are talking about the quality in the Al Ahly has
quality. But we've seen Saudi Arabia League keep on every transfer window. They keep on coming to that same French league now to get a lot of players from there. But when last have you heard that a French club went to Saudi Arabia and get?
No.
Okay, no. I'm coming. Wait.
I doubt if Saudis really got players from French Ligue 1.
We saw Seko Fofana now. The guy from
he went from
Seko Fofana.
Okay, Seko went from French to Saudi Arabia and came back. We have a lot of players who are also living in Saudi Arabia
just one season.
It's mostly about the money. You know,
yes,
you look at the culture, they always have problem with the culture.
Is it not part of it also? It's part of it. We saw the guy they bought from Celtic last season. Is it Jota? Up to 5 matches.
Okay, let me just ask one question before we go. What makes the Premier League one of the let me say the best league in the world.
It's
So
not, I don't think there's anything to say it's the best league.
It's not the
I
best.
think one thing that really works for the Premier League has to be the broadcasting, the wide range broadcasting.
Good.
Yes, that is what the quality is there. The pace of the game is there.
The
but,
competition.
Yes, the competition and the money spent in on the league is actually working for them. So that is what make the Premier League, a bit better than some of these leagues we're talking about. Money is what moves on football around the world. Football is a big business.
Yeah, I agree with him. And second,
But now with these things you just explained, now if you compare these two sides, Saudi and the League One, with what you just said, now which one is closer to what English team is doing?
How many times do you sit down to watch Al Nassr play?
I watched Al-Nassr because of Ronaldo.
That is when was the last time you watched Al Nassr play?
I think last week, last 2 weeks.
I
ago.
think. Which game was that?
Last 2 weeks, the one they played
Against?
what's the name of the other team? I can't even remember it.
Oh, so that is just like we doing how do we call it in what's it called in projects? Just doing a simple sampling on it. That is exactly. At the end of the day, both on the French League One and the Saudi Arabia League are not really different from each other. They are almost on this at par.
No, but I still believe the French league is more superior, better than.
It's just like putting the Nigerian
Saudi
Professional Football League on the same level with the Egyptian Super League.
No, it's different. The context Ronaldo is talking from is the kind of.
They have the.
Is it not? Is it?
They have
I think
the
it's competition. If you talk about those kind of players,
if we remove money from the table, are we going to have these players, this influx of player in the Saudi Arabia League? Are we going to have them in the league?
I don't think so.
It has to be the money you're putting on the table. It's not like they are going there for the footballing aspect of it. The money comes first before the footballing aspect.
And I think the French
that
league
is
have
the
even
difference.
attracted more bigger names than the what they call it.
Younger names right now.
Not just younger names. We've seen Lionel Messi, the player that most people believe is the greatest, to have played in League One. There are players like
what he's saying is this. Get the context. He said apart from PSG. Now when you remove PSG, now you now sample qualities around the clubs, and you look at Saudi Arabia, you sample quality around the clubs. That's where he's saying, okay, Saudi is better than the league.
I disagree
So
with you because I don't see anything in that Saudi Arabia that would defeat
not really
what they call OGC lead. I can't see anything, including that Al Hilal, that would defeat OGC. I mean, what's the name?
Nice.
OGC Lille.
Nice.
Lille.
No,
I mean Lille.
There's
OGC Lille. I'm not talking about OGC Lille. Tell me the club or Olympic Marseille. Is it OSC Lille?
Okay.
And we see how that club have been doing well in the Champions League, defeating Real Madrid. Can any club in Saudi Arabia defeat Real Madrid?
All right, thank you guys for that input. I think you can see our decisions is divided, but it's left for you to just use your teeth to count. Use your tongue to count your teeth, and you will know which one is the best. But hey, you can see the points given by the analysts here. Based on so many reasons, the competition, the broadcasting, and the rest. So let's quickly dive to the next topic here, which is the Total Energy Chan African Championship that was supposed to start on the 1st of February, but it has been postponed till August.
Same lot of problem, just like the same problem we are complaining about for for the French League. One of the biggest problems facing Chan has to be that broadcasting money and the marketing there. I think CAF is really finding it hard to make it a profitable competition, though they've increased the winner prize money. But coming to it, I think yes, it's actually a good competition for the home-based players who are not really getting look into their different national teams, because most of the national teams in Africa depends on the foreign export players to come back and play in the national team. So this is an avenue for the home-based players to also showcase their talent and skill to the world, that yes, they shouldn't also be left out. So I think it's a good competition. It's good they actually pushed it to August rather than having a shamble competition or a Russian and shamble competition in February. The CAF calendar is actually so big this year. A lot of football playing competition for CAF. So I think pushing it to August is actually a good one for both clubs and players. So the club sides can also factor it in and probably so that their league can finish before the CHAN competition starts. And around August is when we are still looking at the restart of the EPL. Pre-seasons for some club.
Yeah.
So that is actually a better frame time to have the CHAN competition.
All right, you can hear that from Shegu himself. So let's quickly look at the draws. The draw was done day before yesterday. That was on Wednesday. So in Group A, we have Kenya, one of the hosts, Morocco, Angola, DR Congo, and Zambia. Then in Group B, where we have Tanzania, also one of the hosts. 3 countries will be hosting the CHAN Championship. Tanzania, Madagascar, Mauritania, Burkina Faso, Central Africa. Then in Group C, where we have Uganda, Niger, and Guinea. Yeah, then we still have some qualifier not completed yet. So that one will come from between the following countries. I will read out the countries to you later. That is Algeria, Comoros, Gambia, Malawi, Egypt, South Africa, and Gabon. They will contest for that that spot, that 2 spots there.
Yeah, I think CAF is having a lot of issue with this competition. I won't be surprised at the end of the day if they even decide to. Because what I'm saying is that these countries you mentioned now, they actually pulled out. That is why the draw has been done in a way that that can still accommodate those countries. Those countries actually pulled out, given the reason that the prize money. Because it was around $3 million.
Yeah,
I heard they've raised it to about $10 million now, and CAF have to push it forward so that hopefully those countries can come back. So for CAF, I think this is a trying time for them. This CHAN competition, and I want to believe this edition which will give us as in am I going to put it now as in. I mean, it will be a test for CAF.
Home-based player.
Yeah, a test for CAF. So, let's say after this one, if they are able to host this one, if they will be able to continue or probably scrap it because
I don't see them scrapping it.
This is the 9th edition.
There was a time they didn't play.
No.
There was a time they postponed.
Probably because your Super Eagles, your CHAN Eagles has not been going.
No, it's not about the CHAN Eagles. I'm not talking about CHAN Eagles.
If they postpone, probably because of COVID. Or maybe falling very close to having the CAF African Cup of Nations. That is why they actually postponed. It's not like they scrapped it for the whole calendar year. If you are hosting a night competition, I think there's what we call short-term plan and long-term plan. They will surely have their long-term plan, at end. But that aside, I think the Nigerian group is where I have my own, observation.
So let me read that the Group D: Senegal, the defending champion, Congo, Sudan, and Nigeria.
Yeah, a fantastic group for Nigeria because we're out of the last 2 competition, but thanks to what's it called, Dele, Remo Stars manager and Fidelis Ilechuku, they had to return Nigeria. Yes, they had to return Nigeria back to the CHAN competition, but at the expense of what, having ourselves in a group of deaths. Because a group of deaths to me, having Senegal will always be a threat for any team on African soil. Because you look at the under 20, you look at the under 17, the caliber of players they are actually bringing out is actually great. And Congo might not be a big problem for Nigeria, but another problem that will be a stumbling block for Nigeria has to be Sudan. We saw Sudan in that group that had Ghana for the African Cup of Nations. They came second in that group, second to Angola in that group, and they were one of the reasons why Ghana didn't qualify for the CAF African Cup of Nations coming up in Morocco. Now, why I'm talking about bringing them back to the African Cup of Nations is that when you look at the Sudan national team, about 8 or 9 of the players who started in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers were playing home-based football. And these are the same set of players that will come to the CAF, CHAN competition. So it's really going to be a big problem for Nigeria. When was last time our players had that big exploit, playing for the senior, the main Super Eagles, or playing competitive games together? So it's really going to be a big test for Nigeria at the competition. But let's see if we can find our way and try and move out of the group stage. I think this has to be the best CHAN Eagles we have since the last time we into the final of the competition. I think that was the time we had what's it called, Rabiu Ali is still in his in the prime of his career, and the likes of what's it called.
Of this,
yes, he's part of it. But now
it.
he should be honest. He's coming as an experienced player
40,
at the age of 42, 43. So he's coming
42.
just as one player, just like the way we had the Ahmed Musa at the last Nations Cup. You can't expect much competitive game from Rabiu Ali. Rather than he's just maybe bringing in one or two experience to the team. But I think looking at the caliber of players and looking at the game they played against Ghana, we should be able to have a good competition.
And I think that the reason CAF postponed the competition is because the countries were not ready. The countries, the infrastructure they were supposed to use, they were not close to completion. So they just had to postpone it. So it's not really because of the prize money. Had it been the countries were ready, these teams have sent, it would just be like an addition for the other teams. So the competition will go on. I don't see it stopping. It will keep growing, building momentum till they get the bigger sponsors to come and push it. But the idea behind the competition, I'm not a fan of it.
You're not a fan?
Yes, because I believe that now if there's one African Cup of Nations, then the African countries should try to work on their league in a way that, good example is Egypt. You see Egypt sharing it. Some will come from the European and some will come from because their league is vibrant and competitive, and there is reward for playing in the league. So once you can monetize your league and give it proper financial backing, you will get your best qualities to stay because you can afford to pay them. And that's just it. So I'm not a fan of this CHAN competition, even from the inception. I'm a fan of keep it. Just imagine that Europe now comes and saying home-based Europe competition. It doesn't make sense. It's like you are degrading the league in your continent. That's where I'm going to. You are degrading it. They are saying, oh, since the players in our continent cannot really compete to enter the AFCON team, then we should create another Nations Cup for them. It's pure degrading. That's what I see. And it won't really sell your continent league abroad. It's not the best. I don't know who brought that idea. Maybe it was our sleeping former CAF president. But I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't make sense.
The minister,
all right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for that analysis. You can hear that. That is what you get from Premier Sport Fan Center. So let's quickly go to the next item here, and it's the preview of. Let's go with the review first. What actually transpired during the last week and during the midweek. And first of all, we talk about the match between Arsenal versus Manchester United in the FA Cup. Arsenal was flogged out, after a penalty shootout, and Paulo was disappointed that day. He was heartbroken. How did you manage to get home?
Actually, I got to you.
Thank God that question is not coming from a Chelsea fan. No, they would have said it is Chelsea.
No, it's not about Chelsea, but that day we were here, we saw the match. I think on the basic of play, I think Manchester United deserve to win the match because they really showed courage, determination to win. Not that Arsenal was that bad, but the issue was that we were unable to take our chances. We saw how we created a lot of chances, and thanks to the man Chelsea sent to us, Kai Havertz, he continued to find a way to give the fans
anytime he scored goal, you don't know.
No. Was it Chelsea that was it Chelsea that gave you guys Odegaard that lost penalty?
That's it. Anybody can miss
chances and Odegaard's penalty. Which one is the best? Is the better one?
Kai Havertz was missing from 6-yard balls.
You need that one is the one of
18-yard balls. No, just 2. And the final soccer punch was delivered by the same Kai Havertz. He was the one that missed the penalty.
Listen, the thing is this: run of play. You might want to hit the ball with your front foot. It hits your back foot. Because it's the run of play. The ball.
But how many times?
Now imagine Odegaard put the ball down. And you face the goalkeeper. And you're blaming
no, not really.
That
I'm not really saying. I don't have any.
It was within 90 minutes.
Yeah, I understand, but at the same time, what I'm just trying to say is that that day Arsenal we not just only him. In fact, all our players they let us down that day. They were not that in fact, and there's something wrong with Arsenal when it comes to this FA Cup now, because since the last time we won this particular competition, the last four exit for us has always been in this round. That's a round of 32. We've not been able to progress either home or away. Teams just find a way to dump us. But it doesn't matter. I'm not saying even though we are not going to win it, but why do we have to keep on exiting that competition at that stage? So we need to find something. And there's also some Arsenal fans have been calling again, because since that time, look at that jersey we wore that day, that white. Since the time we've been wearing that jersey, that FA Cup, anytime we wear that jersey, we are always out of that competition. So I don't know what
those fans will be black. Maybe some African fans.
So
they are the one that
is it the jersey now? Would you leave the jersey out of it? It is if you wear black.
No. There are some times. At times there are some jerseys. Once you put on the jersey, you don't usually win.
Like
no, but I'm just saying. I'm just trying to share some fans' opinion.
There was
all right away from Chelsea.
That's why they've known.
Away from Arsenal, Man U, we saw Man U again against Southampton.
Yeah.
And we saw another match when I thought that it was a done and dusted game for Southampton. At the end of the day, I just got to hear within 12 minutes, Amad Diallo scored a hat-trick.
Yeah, I think the Ivorian forward has been a very, very good addition for Man U, even from the beginning of the season. If Eric Ten Hag had given him more playing time, I think maybe he wouldn't have lost his job, because he's not coming in good. And I think Amorim needs a bit of shipping out of some players and shipping in from. But it's just that they are not lucky enough in the aspect that FFP is breathing down their neck. That's why you see them. They will either sell one of Garnacho or this other player, Marcus Rashford, just to keep up with FFP. And when you look at it, Man U is a big club, but many of these players cannot play the modern day way of playing football. Now look at it. You will see that some of them are very good. Good example is Jadon Sancho. Look at how he came into Chelsea setup and he blended. Some will say, man, you used to kill destiny of players. But I did not say that. I said many. But to be realistic, congrats to Man U, but I don't see them showing that glimpse of a team that will come up the table.
But do you think
they are just here and there. I don't think
this season.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I think those with the last win. I think they're about just
12
points.
now.
12 points behind Chelsea. So that is a fall.
Yes,
it's about 12 points.
Chelsea is in fifth position.
Yeah, just 12 points. Just 12
Is it up to
difference.
12?
Yes, 12 point difference between the two of them.
You
Should
put
Chelsea
just that's 4 matches.
How many matches have you guys lost of late?
But Manchester United
So there's no winning in sight for Chelsea. Your next game is against Wolverhampton. A draw against Wolverhampton, a win for Manchester United against Brighton.
So Man U will defeat that Brighton.
We cut it down to 10. After Wolverhampton,
Where are you coming
after Wolverhampton, we have Manchester City to play. A loss against Manchester City again, and the win for Manchester United, we cut it to around 7 or 5.
But there are other clubs also behind Chelsea now.
That is
Manchester City, Newcastle also.
Chelsea are on the brink. Chelsea can calm down because we are on that big slope right now. The confidence is not there for the boys. Score one.
The manager just acted like an enemy within.
When he was telling you guys we are not in competition for the league, this was what he was saying. Exactly what he was saying.
It's just
all right. We'll get to Chelsea's time, because right now, we already talked about Chelsea, because Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Yeah, we saw the game. It ended 2-2.
Yeah.
It was a disappointing one for Chelsea fans. They were not happy with that result because they were up against Bournemouth, but at the end of the day, it was a draw, and that is the fourth or fifth consecutive not winning games.
The fifth game.
Yeah, the fifth game consecutively They are not getting all the 3
That's
points.
in the league. In the league.
In the league, yeah. So, is there any way forward for Chelsea to come back?
Yeah, I think all they just need is morale booster, and let's see how they. It all also depends on this January transfer window. That is where way Chelsea season is going to shape up. Because if you're not getting a striker, you're depending on what's it called, on Nicholas Jackson for the goals. Yes, if we get your hat trick in one game, then go about 5 games, losing scoreable chances you expect him to put in the back of the net. That is what Mikel Obi has been complaining about Jackson. We just think that Mikel was being harsh on Jackson, but it's the truth he was saying about him. There are some scoreable chances you expect him to put into the back of the net. But away from Jackson, Chelsea can't always depend on Jackson and what's it called, and Kopama for their goals. What happens to the wingers? Madueke, after that hat-trick and maybe 1 or 2 goals, has about 5 goals this season, and he got that 5 goals in maybe like 3 matches out of 21 games. It shows, how much these guys are not contributing to the number of goals scored by Chelsea. Sancho has just 2 goals for Chelsea, same as on Pedro Neto. And these are the wingers you're playing game in, game out. If your wingers are not contributing to the goals, there's always going to be problem for the club. Look at Manchester City. Even when they're having problem with Alan not scoring a lot of goals, the wingers and the midfielders are still coming in and getting involved for the team, and it's just a matter of time before Chelsea burns out what's it called, Kopama. I just pray that guy is not going to get a knock, just exactly like Bukayo Saka.
I even heard today. I think
he won't be playing on Monday because there's no conference league. It's normally expected that it's the conference league squad that will play on Monday against the Wolverhampton.
No. Because I was out. No, is he injured?
He's not. He said he's not in the squad for Monday. That he doubts if he'll be in the squad. I think the only injury worry for Monday has to be what's it called, Romeo Lavia, who was taken out due
about 3
to
players,
one injury or the other. Yes, they mentioned Palmer, they mentioned Enzo, mentioned Lavia, and mentioned some other players. I think about 4 or 5 players were mentioned not to be in that squad for Monday's game. But Monday is still there. I think I remember when that was how they said it before that Newcastle game, that Kopama won't be available for the game, and we saw him came to play 90 minutes in that game also and scored a goal against Newcastle. So it's wanting to say it into the press. It's wanting to see it that yes, this is it on the day of the match.
All right, let's talk about the table toppers. That is Liverpool. We saw them drop another point this time around against Nottingham Forest. How is it that possibility for them to win that league? Is it that that the assurance is it high like it used to be?
Yeah, I think that at the moment they are still the favorite to win the league because 4-point gap and a game in hand. Let's just forget about the game in hand because
you cannot forget about
it. No,
it.
you might lose it. No, I'm not saying you might lose it. You might win it. But let's just agree that they have 4 points now at the moment ahead, and it's a lot for any team to catch up in football. Though anything can happen, but I still believe they are one of the favorite to.
They are the favorite.
They are the favorite rather to win the league. And but at the moment, I think they're having maybe bad form. Let me just say bad form because if you watch the last 4 or 5 matches in the league, I think they've only been able to win.
Look at the teams they played in the last 4 or 5 matches in the league. I think around that time they played Manchester City. They played Manchester United. They've played Nottingham Forest. I think they've played about 3 or 4 of the top teams.
No, they played most of the teams they played then were the top half also. Fulham, but I think they were expected to because those are the form they had. They didn't lose the games. They didn't lose.
You think Arsenal will go up against Nottingham Forest today, and it's going to be easy right for Arsenal against
Nottingham Forest? It might be because we said at times. We saw the first leg. That's how they actually, after Nottingham Forest winning.
How confident are you that Arsenal is going to beat Aston Villa?
We are coming to that. Because it's going to be our preview talk. So let's quickly. We are done with that one. The last one is the El Clasico. Yeah, Barcelona, Real Madrid. Are you surprised with that result?
Yeah, I think it's got everybody by surprise. 5-2 is actually a big whitewash for Barcelona. But one thing we found out under Hansi Flick has been against Real Madrid is that yes, they might have a problem against every other team, but they know how to take Real Madrid to the cleanser. They've done it in the league and also doing it in the Super Copa. What's that league? They went to play Saudi Arabia. Super Cup. Yes, they took them to the cleanser also there. I think all Madrid will be coming back with with a revenge mission when they face off in the La Liga one more time. But if as inflicts another big win on what's it called on Carlo Ancelotti, then he has them at 10. I think one of the biggest problem they also had was that injury to what's it called Lamine Yamal. It really affected Barcelona, and that is why I'm also having problem with them. Depending and playing all your games, shipping it around a 17 years old boy, you are just going to get that boy washed out. He has played about 74 matches at the age of 17, which is actually too much. Reminds me of when Pedri, Ansu Fati, and the likes of Gavi also came through the ranks, and before you know it's just one ACL injury, and that is the end for those players. So they have to protect Lamine Yamal, because that guy is one of those generational talent. They have to protect him at all costs and reduce the number of dependency that they are depending on that young boy.
All right, let's quickly go to the preview. We just have some few matches here to preview, and to our viewers, you can listen. Probably those of you who know how to, you can do that. But anyway, we'll look at Brentford, Liverpool during the weekend.
Well, another tough time for Liverpool, because there are teams that I don't really like playing in the EPL. Brentford is one of them. Nottingham Forest is another, and Brighton is another. Because these teams are always full of running for the remaining 90 minutes of
even now
game.
Bournemouth.
And we saw Brighton. We saw the same Brentford against Manchester City. The form that Bueno and Wissa is currently right now is a terrifying form. At least they are going to score one goal in a game. So Liverpool should actually go into that game against Brentford playing like they are currently losing 1-0 against Brentford. And I think another problem for the manager has been the goalkeeper. Talking about what's it called, Alisson Becker. This was a goalkeeper who was injured, and during the time he was injured, they kept faith with Kelia. Kelia did fantastic job in the absence of of Alisson Becker. So I think Kelia should have kept that position rather than rushing Alisson Becker back into the starting 11. They've considered about unbelievable goals with Alisson Becker in goal post. Even before that injury, Becker wasn't really in that form for Liverpool. So another player that needs to start scoring back right now has to be the talisman himself, Mohamed Salah. That is where the bulk of Liverpool goals is coming from. And the last game he couldn't score. It shows why they actually lost that game. Yes, Diogo Jota is another player who they need to keep fit if they want to really pursue for the league, because they need victories right now.
I think he's injured now. He's out of the game.
Who is out?
Jota.
So they have to depend on what's it called, Darwin Núñez.
Even Darwin Núñez, I don't think he's available. They will still go with Cody Gakpo.
And Gakpo also did well playing as a first.
All right, so your prediction for the match?
Yeah, I think I'll be going with Liverpool straight win.
Polo?
I see a draw because given the kind of spirited performance Brentford display against Manchester City, coming from 2 goals down, but I still see a draw.
I just think win or draw Liverpool.
All right, so we'll go to the match. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. At the time like this last season, when it was going rosy for Arsenal, actually started. That was last season. And it was a time like a time like this. So what are your expectations in that encounter?
Yeah, it's straight with Aston Villa, because they know how to take that victory over Arsenal. And the day where Martinez is in form of his life, Rodgers is currently in a big form, and Arsenal is a depleted side right now. There's no Bukayo Saka, there's no Gabriel Jesus. Where is the goals coming from, if not from the defenders? And which other team knows how to defend very well, if not United Emirates, Aston Villa? I won't be shocked if they take a 1-0 victory over the Gunners in that game.
And I just think that that game is like a banana peel. There's this I think there's this thing, Good evening, the manager Unai Emery. I love to call him Good evening. He has against Arsenal. Every game Arsenal face him, it's always war. It's always a very, very lot in the office. So I think this one won't be a different one. Arsenal now ravaged with injuries. Saka is not available. Gabriel Jesus is not available. And I don't think Trossard will be available. So when you look at it, even with the full squad available, they struggle. Now the squad is depleted due to injury. So I just hope that Arsenal doesn't drop another point.
All right, Paulo?
Yeah, Arsenal is going to win that game at least by maybe 3 goals to 1. You're talking about Unai Emery. I think it was only last season. Unai Emery has been with Aston Villa now going to, if not 3 seasons now. It was only last season. This season we've played the first.
It's not up to 3 seasons.
It's up to 3 seasons.
It's just he came in.
Maybe it's in his this season.
I think he just clocked 2 years because he came January. Yes,
he came January. It should be
it's
in
not
his,
up to 3 seasons.
at the end of the maybe 2.5 years now. That's
if you calculate it well, I think he just spent 1.5 seasons.
But what I'm saying this is that last 2 seasons we played Unai Emery. We defeated them home and away. It was only last season. Because I remember when he.
But defeated home and away last season.
But this season we've won at their home ground there.
So let's see.
And so you know, talking about us now, we play. Yes, I agree. We have a lot of injuries, but we were still able to take out Tottenham. So who is Aston Villa now? For us now to.
Okay.
All right, so let's wait.
We'll be here next week.
Of course, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Like special guest of the
tomorrow.
year.
All right.
No, not just tomorrow. Next week. You come and we analyze.
No problem.
All right. Man U Brighton.
Yeah, I think it's a banana peel game, but these are games that you expect Man U to come, dominate and win. So because Brighton play expressive football, but it can also be a very difficult day in the office. But I think playing at Old Trafford, Man U should take that one if the village people doesn't appear.
For the game, Manchester United Brighton has become a fixture that's in the last maybe 2 or 3 seasons now. We've seen the fixture favored more of Brighton than Manchester United, both home and away. But with the kind of performance Manchester United have been dishing out now in the last 3-4 months, though most of those games.
Did you watch Manchester United starting team?
I wasn't
if you watch the first
half
5 minutes,
yeah, it was all Southampton.
Check you were here. You watched the match. It was not to me. They didn't really give.
They had a bad first half yesterday. I guess.
Yeah.
Up to the 75th minute.
And that is what seems to you still expect against a team like Brighton. The difference here is that you have a Mitoma running against you, not not Sulemana running against you yesterday. Sulemana could have won that game for Southampton in the first half yesterday, but he was just wasteful in front of goal. But this time around you have Mitoma, you have Baleba, who is currently in a big form in the heart of the midfield. So it's going to be another big midfield battle tomorrow for maybe on Sunday for Manchester United. But I'll be tilting towards a full-time draw in that game, no doubt.
All right. So look at Ipswich, Manchester City.
Yeah, I think that Ipswich playing at home is going to be another difficult game from that Brighton experience, and that Brighton result will make them low on experience. So I think that game, Ipswich can get something out of it.
I don't think so. Man City will whitewash them. I don't think.
Okay.
Alan will surely celebrate his new deal with that.
Okay, then let's move to that.
No. I know Manchester City is not in that great form,
Because you know why you sound like this. If you check the last 5 games for Ipswich, you will see that they have improved, especially playing at home.
But that's how they've been playing in the beginning of the season.
They lost again, but before Brighton. Go and check.
Yeah, before Brighton, they had
relegation.
3 matches.
I think the only game they looked at, I think the only big victory they got was that victory against Chelsea.
Tottenham.
They defeated Tottenham also.
Yes,
Tottenham Chelsea.
The other one they won was
I think that should be the second. Is it not the second match? I think they've won 2 or 3 in the league this season.
So
they defeated Chelsea. That's huge.
So away from
Chelsea also another
away from the Ipswich Man City, we talk about Chelsea Wolves on Monday. Chelsea Wolves.
Yeah, on Monday we talk about it.
No,
we talk about others.
No, we need to talk about.
Okay, if the manager who has acted like an enemy within for the last few games, if he's back, you know one thing I don't like about these Guardiola-minded coaches is they overthink, they over-experiment. Just do the primary things, and you get all 3 points. Then you overthink. You bring a right back, academy player that's just growing in confidence, and you switch him from a right back role that he was built in the academy for to a centre back. In a game whereby you need all 3 points after you have dropped points for the last 4 Premier League games. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. Now he wants to rotate again in a game whereby you start all your players and just get me this 3 points and let us balance. Chelsea is out of top 4 and you are talking about resting Kopama for what?
Oh, you want to raise for the Monday's match?
So
How sure are you?
I
How
think
sure is that
it's due to
information?
injury. I
How
don't think
sure is
he
that
wants- I
information?
don't think
see,
he will play-
Kopama is not injured.
but I don't think he will.
Are
Are you
Yeah.
praying for him to get injured?
No,
You are
no,
not
no,
the one that
no,
sent
no,
Saka
no,
to
no,
the
no,
hospital.
It's not
now.
about his Arsenal.
Well, we didn't send Saka to the hospital. You heard when I was saying it then that Saka, the game is playing is too much.
Yeah,
I was saying it.
Yeah.
This season,
Excuse me, was there not an EPL game Nkuku and Felix started over Kopama? Kopama was
This
on the bench.
season.
Yes, this season. He hasn't started out the game for Chelsea.
Yes,
now.
and they
this
won that match.
season-
Yes. Before the game before Brentford.
I doubt.
You can't doubt if you don't know
This
it.
season,
Uh-uh.
this
Yeah,
season.
games
If
Yes,
you
I
want
don't
to
think
doubt,
so.
be doubting
No, no,
Arsenal.
no,
have to
no,
have-
no,
you
no.
have to- you must
No,
have the facts
my
before telling
take
me
is
doubts.
that I don't think the manager will deliberately, unless something is wrong, because we know Kopama is not playing in the Conference League. So why will you want to bench him? Given the fact that before that game, which is on Monday, before that game, Chelsea might have found themselves in 8th position on the log because
I
they
love
are-
the way you do use that might.
Yes, yes,
But the might is
because
not always working for you when you're talking
it's
about Arsenal.
possible. It's possible. What I'm saying is that there are teams behind them, including Manchester City, behind Chelsea with maybe 2 points and some 1 point. Those teams, if they win before Chelsea play, they might be on 8th position. So I see no reason. If Kopama is 100%, even 50% fit, I want to believe he's going to play him unless there's something seriously wrong. That's when he's not going to play him. And talking about the game, my prediction for that game is that I will be expecting Chelsea to win because I don't think Wolverhampton Wanderers are a team that will be able to stop Chelsea because we've seen Wolf shipping a lot of goals. So what you just need to do against Wolf is once you are able to outscore them, you get the win.
All right, guys. I think that's how far we can go for today. Thanks for coming to the studio.
Thanks,
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you guys. So to our viewers, thank also for staying tuned to our Talk Sports show today. Every Friday by 7:30 p.m. And again, don't
Nigerian
forget,
time.
yeah, Nigerian time. Don't forget to join us tomorrow as we come again with the live watch along show tomorrow. A lot of big matches lined up for tomorrow. We'll be here to cover all the live matches. So don't forget to join us. Have a pleasant night's rest.